One of the biggest myths about trauma therapy is that you have to remember everything in order to get better or to have benefit from the treatment. It's really common that people will express that their memories are fragmented, broken up, not clear. They remember some aspects, can't remember other parts of the memory. And sometimes they worry, like, how can I go and process or take care of these memories if I can't even remember what actually happened? And part of the education that I provide to clients is that that's actually a normal response to being exposed to something traumatic. Sometimes aspects of the memory can be really heightened, really memorable, certain sounds, smells, sights, visions, images, things can become super crisp and super clear. And then other aspects of it are just gone. People often express not remembering, periods of time in the aftermath of a traumatic event. So when we understand what's kind of happening in the brain, that's when we start talking about things like dissociation or tuning out. Those are really protective and adaptive responses to going through something terrible. So, what that actually means is that when you were going through something really difficult, it was more than your body and your brain could cope with, your body's natural defense system alleviated you from being in the midst of that pain by dissociating from what was happening to you. The impact that has is because your memory was being encoded kind of while that was happening and you had this dissociation, it just leaves things not as clear as if you had been able to, be present, stay in the moment, or maybe you can think about that in terms of other events in your life where a really special day you might have better recall and can kind of put the whole memory together in a more chronological way. So in the experience of being traumatized or exposed to trauma, that's a normal and expected response. Actually, I'm probably more surprised when people come to me and they have really strong chronological in order, can really put the pieces together. So that's part of the work that we're going to do in therapy. And you don't have to have a complete memory. You don't even have to understand. Sometimes people will say things like, I don't know if I really remember it this way, or if it's just this is the way it's been told to me. So now I've created a memory or an image to go with it. And that's totally okay. Memories don't have to be completely accurate to work on in therapy and find some relief. We can even work on dreams. Dreams aren't always, well, usually they're not accurate reflections of what we've been through, but the brain kind of puts things together and shows up when we're in our unconscious or subconscious state of sleep. And that's okay. We can work through something that's scary, whether it actually happened exactly as we recall or not. Therapy is all about relieving distress associated with memories or pieces of memories. So the fact that it's not intact is totally okay. The flip side, there is a whole other side of this where sometimes people come to therapy because they're haunted or tortured by intrusive memories. They have memories that won't stop showing up. In fact, sometimes they express, I wish I could turn these memories off, but they just won't leave me alone. When that's happening, it's usually because your brain is trying so hard to take care of it. That's what our brain does for us all day, every day, is takes care of our memories, puts them away, puts them into a storage system where they can be retrieved if needed or possibly let go if not needed. So when we have intrusive memories that just keep showing up, whether, sometimes people will have a flashback of an image or a sound, sometimes it will be recurring thoughts or recurring nightmares. And they can also be worked on in therapy. I think for folks who experience the intrusive thoughts or kind of continuous uh, memories or experiences showing up when they're unwanted, they often have a fear that if we open this up, if we uncork this bottle and everything starts coming out, how am I going to live? How am I going to function if I actually start trying to deal with these memories? So, folks who have a lot of intrusive thoughts or memories are often spending a lot of time trying to avoid them or push them aside. So, that's when people will really use a lot of avoidance techniques. People sometimes will listen to music, keep themselves busy, try to keep themselves, go to the gym, just get exhausted, like doing everything we can to kind of keep those memories at bay. And in therapy, we want to work with those memories too, because those are the ones that are showing up and saying, I need help. We need to figure out where to put this. So I guess my primary message in this video and what I would want people to understand is you don't have to have it all put together to come to therapy, whether you have fragmented memories or, sometimes people even come in, it's just a feeling. I don't even know exactly what happened, but this is what shows up in my body. This is what I kind of am experiencing. That's normal. And it's also normal to have a lot of images or nightmares or thoughts that just don't want to settle. And coming into therapy can help us deal with them in a safe and healthy way. So with intrusive memories, we usually first try to work on containing them and learning how to switch gears, almost like turning the light on and off. So sometimes when the memories come on, we want to also know how to turn that switch off. And we can do things using the power of our imagination and our mind and our brain to create alternatives to the way we're currently seeing them. So I did write an article about this that you can find in our mental health library, and I'll tag it in the description. So if you want to read a little bit more about it, it's there for you too.